Kaloko-Honokōhau is located just a few miles north of Kailua-Kona on the big island in Hawaii. So let's find out what this is. Just before we arrive to the visitor center, we have this circular wall structure. I wish I could tell you what it is, but at this point I'm kind of clueless. Maybe it's the base of an old house. I mean, at least there is a door. So let's walk right in. And in the middle there is some kind of platform built of rocks. Anyway, people have lived here for many hundreds of years, and this is really an interesting area in itself. I've been here before a few times, and down by the ocean we have a lot of cool stuff. So let's start with the visitor center. You can tell this place is historic because we also have a payphone. It's an artifact from the past. 1-855 Aloha. There you have it. I just love these carvings, and you see them all over the place when you go out. How about this one? And they illustrate how people used to live in this area. You see the canoe, you see these shelters, and many other things. And fishing, of course, was a big part of the daily life. And these flowers are very interesting. Most of them are kind of dead, but we still have a few in the background that are really alive. I like this green turtle. What do you guys think? It's pretty big. Typical Hawaiian style. It's right next to the visitor center. And they talk about the spirit of this place. By the way, I asked about that circular thing we saw, and that turned out to be a burial place. And it's not the only one. They have more. And I also asked, why is the visitor center so far from the beach? And the reason is they did not get a building permit to be closer, because we are kind of far from the reality. Yeah, everything happened down by the water. And as you can see, there is absolutely no water up here in these lava fields. Anyway, it's still interesting. They give you more about the history, how people lived. It would have been really interesting to be here in the 1700s. They were also kind enough to put up a map. And according to the map, I am pretty much right here. If you go north, you will find this Kaloko Fishpond. And pretty much down by the ocean from here we have another fish pond, and we also have fish traps out in the water. And all this is just north of the small boat harbor. If you follow this trail, you will be down by the water, I would say maybe 10-15 minutes. But instead of doing that, I will go back to my car and find another location. I've been here before, so I know the shortcuts. You can't really tell anyone, but the secret is to go down to the small boat harbor and go in here. There is a little road and it will take you down to the beach, and that's a secret. That's the shortcut. I'm guessing many of these boats are doing fishing. People pay money, they go out, they catch a tuna, things like that. There is a lot of other types of fish as well. I'm just guessing tuna is the best. I like that sailboat. Wow, that's very nice. And this is definitely the ramp where they back down and basically launch their boats. The other advantage, if you choose to start at this parking lot, is that they have a smaller store in the corner. They are selling everything you need for fishing, and they also sell beer. So in case you are thirsty when you do your hike, they have a solution for your thirst. That's a really important aspect, right? Who wants to be thirsty? We let the fun begin. So you save a lot of time. Instead of walking from way up there, you basically start right by the beach. How about that? In between these trees, there is no wind. The temperature is going up, it's sweaty. These signs tells us that we have some fish traps going down in this direction. And if we choose to make a right, we will come up to a couple of these famous fish ponds. But I will definitely start by the fish traps. We are literally on the beach, but the vegetation is very, very dense. And you can't see too many feet in any direction. And here we have it. This is where people lived for hundreds of years. It's a really, really important center on the big island. And we can clearly see the remnants of the fish traps out in the water. Fish came in, got trapped, and it was easy to go out and catch them. And the nearest fish pond is 10 minutes away in this direction. Look at the water. Oops, it's a sea turtle. Can you see it? It's right there. Wow, he's like 6 feet out in the water. Maybe it's hard to see, it looks like a rock, but it's definitely a turtle. So beautiful. Oh, the head is coming up. I missed it. I think I missed it. After all, they are coming up here and there to breed. And you can see the back. And if I'm a turtle, this is the beach, absolutely. We have a beautiful shelter right on the beach. And believe it or not, there is a huge turtle up on the sand. Look at this guy. It's massive. And they come up to rest and enjoy the sun. It's very easy to understand why a place like this was used in the past. This is one of my favorite spots on the big island. You come down to the ocean, it's quiet, the water is not too deep, it's definitely not wild, because after all you're on the western side of the island, so the wind cannot really create huge waves. Food in abundance in the ocean. The weather is always good. So they had good taste. The people who lived here hundreds of years ago, maybe thousands of years ago. I'm sure you agree, this is paradise. Further out, they also built this Heiau. And it's still standing. Built of black volcanic rock. And the building material is right on the beach. I think this is a good location. I found a place where I can see the entire thing. I'm estimating the length is about 150 feet long, maybe 40-50 wide, something like that. And you can see how close we are to the small boat harbor. Literally a few hundred feet. It is really fun to think of other places in America. People are right now in the middle of the winter. They are freezing, they have snow, rain, they never see the sun. And in Hawaii, it's an endless summer. You can hop into the ocean any minute and just enjoy it. You can do snorkeling, fishing, swimming, surfing, all that stuff. So I guess right now I'm lucky. The winter solstice is just a couple of weeks away, and this is what we have. A last look at this very, very historic beach with the volcano Hualalai in the background. Now it's time for me to go up to the nearest fish pond. I have to walk another 150-200 yards in order to be right next to the ancient fish pond. And you can see how close it is to the ocean itself. It's literally 50 yards. The water is murky, but not too long ago they used this for fishing. They had a lot of fish in here, and when they were hungry, all they needed to do was to go out to catch a fish. I don't know how they did it. Maybe they had a net, maybe a spear, something like that. I think I will continue another 50 yards before I'm done. So the sand is really creating a barrier, because in this clip here you can clearly see the ocean on the left side and the pond on the right side.